is Fox 43 News Sunday Spotlight.
Good morning, I'm Heather Warner and welcome to Fox 43 News Sunday Spotlight. This morning the spotlight is shining on the Humane Society of the Harrisburg area. This organization protects animals from cruelty and neglect, provides shelter to homeless animals, and helps to promote education and responsible pet ownership in the community. The executive director of the Humane Society of Harrisburg is Amy Konis. She joins us now in the spotlight. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Well, you are from the Humane Society of the Harrisburg area, but you cover a lot more than just the Harrisburg area. Explain that.
Absolutely. Right now, our service area is all of Dauphin County, all of Cumberland County, all of Perry County, and Northern York. So we have quite an extensive area to cover.
Wow. And now, do the Humane Societies all work together, or is this something that you're all kind of separate entities?
Well, each Humane Society is organized as a separate private entity, and there is no, law or regulation that ties us all together. However, we do try to work collaboratively on a number of projects. One of the toughest things for us to combat is the spay-neuter and the spaying and neutering of animals. So we do try to work together with that. We also try to work together if one shelter is overcrowded. We'll try to call another shelter and see if there's a way we can shift some animals around just to help each other out. So there are a number of things we try to do to work together. There's no point in not.
Of course. Now, this is something I think a lot of people are confused about. How does it work with the municipalities and the animal control within the municipalities? Do you all have contracts with them?
Yes. A municipality can choose whether or not to participate with us. In the state of Pennsylvania, unlike a lot of states in our country, there's no government regulation or state regulation saying that a municipality has to pay for a portion of services. So they're privately negotiated contracts, and the municipalities can choose to participate or not. Right now we have about 43 municipalities that do participate with us, and they're on yearly contracts. And what that allows them to do is, if their police department finds an animal in the middle of the night hit by a car or a gunshot or something like that, they can bring the animal to us. It allows their residents to bring feral cats and bring animals that they perhaps would find in their backyard or something to that effect to the shelter, and then the fees that they pay unfortunately do not cover the cost that it would take to care for that animal, but it does give us some buffer for what it does cost to provide the direct animal care.
Gotcha.
Right now, I would say those contracts are only about 9% of our actual revenue. So it's a total misconception that we run on those contracts. They're 9% of our revenue, but they're probably closer to 35% of our expense.
Wow.
So it's an interesting dichotomy.
And that leads into this question. Your West Shore shelter right now, you do have one, but it is closed down.
It is.
And that is because of the funding?
Yes, funding. That shelter was built in 1961. Little was done to improve the shelter. Right now we are investigating what needs to be done and how much it's going to cost us. One of our sticking points that has come up is, because of the size of the renovations that need to be done there, the building would have to be ADA compliant, which is a huge expense in of itself. So we're trying to get a grasp on the total number that it's going to cost to reopen the shelter and look at the possibility of perhaps building another shelter someplace else, or maybe making expansions to east to accommodate for the number of animals that we used to house there.
Okay, and you still do house the animals there. That's something we had talked about.
Right now, we have some.
Okay.
We have a few litters of kittens. That's about it. There's really little to no cats over there, and there are some dogs that we're using as overflow right now due to the severe overcrowding we're experiencing.
All right. Well, we're talking a lot about the budget and the expenses. Give us an idea of what your budget is, if you will, and just how you do raise the money.
Our budget right now is between $1.2 and $1.3 million a year. Both my board president and I have gone around to other humane societies, both in and out of the state, and we've looked at their numbers, their budget, how many animals they take in, how many full-time employees they have. If you look at comparable humane societies, we could easily be spending another $1 million to $500,000 a year, given the number of animals we take in. So from a budgetary standpoint, we are very lean, very mean, and that's in large part to the fact that we have a really great volunteer base. that provides a lot of service to our animals. We have some very, very dedicated people that come in and walk the dogs, and we've been doing a better job of getting out in the community and getting a lot of products and services donated to us. So we are very proud of that, but there is definitely a need for some more staff.
Yeah. Now, to raise some of the money, do you have certain events or anything like that?
We do. I should say probably 80% of our funding comes directly from our community. We have special events. One of our largest special events coming up is the Fur Ball that I think a lot of people know about, I should say. It's in November. It's November 3rd this year at the Crown Plaza. Great time. Wonderful event for those people that like to get dressed up and go out for a nice dinner and listen to the band. So we're really excited about that. We do appeal letters, and we do some smaller adopt-a-thons and open houses at the shelter to try to get people into our shelter and promote adoptions, which to some extent is fundraising for us.
Okay. If people want to learn a little bit more about these events, you have a website that they could go to.
We do.
Can you give that to us, please?
It's www.humanesociety.hbg.org, and they're all up there. We have an events calendar. We have monthly different events that, whether from a fundraising standpoint or perhaps it's maybe a low-cost microchip clinic or a low-cost vaccine clinic, everything's on the website. Okay,
very good. Well, we do need to take a short break, but when we return, we're going to talk about adopting a pet. This is Fox 43 News Sunday Spotlight. We'll be right back.